Hey everybody, Nicole here, your HEYOKA empath, Nicole with the K. I had a very special lady ask me to do a video here for my TikTok fam on how to regain your feminine energy in a fucking relationship. Like we're talking a marriage or a lengthy relationship, anything like that. And it's very, very important because especially if you've been a mom, oh my God. So if you've already been a mother is a sacrificial energy. And so that's why a lot of women, after they get divorced and they have children, they go out to date. They are so far up masculine energy's ass. It's not even fucking funny. So I'm going to tell you one simple thing to do. See, for the women, it's very important security. And so all the good husbands will leave the money up to the women. And it's not that the money should not be up to the woman. Of course, that security is the most important thing for her. So she should have a private stash because she should never feel like she's with you out of force and that she can't just walk or take off, recalibrate, rejudge the relationship, make sure that she's really happy. Otherwise, you have a very, very much sour grapes on your hands, very fermented energy, and believe me, it's going to be a bitter aftertaste for everyone concerned. So the first thing, as a rule of thumb, is all you ladies must have your own finances somewhere. Just staying safe, just in case, just so you don't start acting weird, acting resentful, acting like a doormat, which turns him off, acting narcissistic because you're stuck and you're just spewing out electric volcanic type of energy because you're frustrated because you can't even take off for 2-3 days to collect your sense of self. So that's the first thing that's very necessary. The second thing, you need to understand that regaining your feminine energy doesn't mean losing the final say in where the finances, like I know a lot of you women are budgeting and financing and you handle all the bills, and that doesn't change. It's just that somehow along the way, he got used to you handling it. So he lost the decision-making skill. He lost the confidence in his own advice. He lost that freedom and that confidence and grounding in this is what we're going to do, and next year is going to be like this, and this is how we budget, and this is where we're putting our capital, etc., etc. Because he would say, okay, what do you think if we do blah, 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 blah? He's asking you what you think. Then you tell him what you think, and you don't say what you think because they're not two thinkers. If one's a thinker, the other by default's a feeler. So when he says, what do you think? He's going to say by default, you're going to say to him, well, how do you feel about this? And that fucks him up and shoves him into a passive feminine energy, which makes him lose. He gets a very dull dick. He starts to lose his initiating skills, him take action. So now you bitch and complain why you make all the plans, why you initiate sex and everything else under the sun. Why do you feel like all the weight is on you? Now you're bitching. And now he's more sensitive and overwhelmed, and now you can't even give him all your emotions because you know innately he can't handle it. All this shift came about through those two verbiage to start with. You cannot ask a man how he feels and expect him to feel confident in his thoughts and his decision making. Now, the first thing you just need to do, and not just that, you wonder why sex isn't there. You wonder why sex isn't magical, because we totally dry up there when we're overburdened. When we're taking on the masculine energy, which is all the decision making, all the responsibility, all the sacrificial energy and time. And when we don't have fun and pampering, when we have to initiate things, especially in the sexual arena, not that you can't from time to time, but a woman likes to feel that she is with someone in charge of her body's responses and impulses, so that he can touch her and do a certain thing, and she's like putty. And likewise, the man likes to know that you can knock him out of his IRS lobe into his feeling lobe. And what that means for him is he can be really upset and thinking about his problems. But you see, as soon as he storms in the house, you just stand there and you just like unbutton your blouse, just open your shirt and out they pop, and he's already slid right close to you, dropped to his knees. You're just sitting on his face right now. So he's not even remembering his last name, let alone the problem he had at work. So you see, men love to be lured out of their mind into this mysterious, mystical place, which with the power of our femininity, our divine feminine essence, our sensuality, our body, our tone, our smell, that's a big power tool. That's our superpower. And then likewise, their superpower is being grounded, and thereby as a feminine energy, especially divine feminine energy, when she's anchored in it, she can inspire up her man to handle any fucking thing. Because no man knows the strength and what he's capable of until he looks into the eyes of the woman he loves, and she reflects it back to him. But see, she wouldn't be able to do that if she lived 24/7 in her brain and she's juggling canny, whatever. She doesn't feel that security in herself, that life always works for her. So she can't transition that feeling, that energy into him. She can say logical words, I know you will do it, I know you will think about it. He doesn't change in how he feels. He goes, gets a drink. That's his liquid courage, because his feminine energy courage wasn't on full throttle. She's half empty, or she's tainted or diluted of her potency because she's done too much for people and her energy's depleted and she doesn't pamper herself, she doesn't look after, she doesn't protect her energy. She's not lit as fuck. He doesn't feel invincible because she's depleted. So she's now, because depleting energy will always gravitate thoughts of weakness, even if she tries to say optimistic, positive words, which mean fuck all, he will not feel like he can do it because she hasn't inspired him up to the task by transitioning her energy into him, which is what we're really good at if we're plugged into our feminine energy. So, not to mention that whole magical thing, a woman's secretions, a woman's juices and all that beautiful, amazing stuff. Why she dried out? Why does it take a lot of work? Why lubricant and schmubricant and fruits and whatever the fuck? Why? Why is he not making her hot? It's not because she's known him for a long time. It's because the energies have changed. It's because she's the masculine energy, but she doesn't have a dick. He's the feminine energy. She can't even look up to her man. So she doesn't feel protected. And a woman needs to feel safe in order for juices to fucking flow. See, feminine energy is love. And love comes where it's welcomed, which is when it's safe to do so. Our body biologically is created that way. That's why it takes time for us to bake. We need to feel safe. It needs to come out. It can't be forced. It can't be manipulated. When I say manipulated, what I'm talking about, yes, you can have a skilled surgeon, manual labor, he's like very good, but the heart will feel empty. So yeah, he can get her going, especially if she's been on a drought with her husband because the energies are mixed. So now she's having an affair. It still means that she'll get a seducer, which is a feminine energy, because she's in masculine mode. So she'll get a narc. So all those things overlap. So the best thing that I can tell you to start to do in your marriage is take back your verbiage. So if you're a woman, I feel. If you're a man, I think. So if you're a man, don't ask your woman what she fucking thinks. Ask her how she feels about your idea. And you ask guy what he thinks about how it is. When you ask him an opinion, ask him what he thinks. See, especially where the purse strings are concerned, here's how it's gonna go down. He's gonna decide to go into this investment firm or this or that. He's gonna make the decision. You're gonna allow him to make the decision. Then he's going to bring you the portfolio and he's going to say, babe, can you look it over this? Tell me how you feel about that. Do you feel good about this? And then if you're in your feminine energy, you'll feel what he can't feel. That's why you're a power couple. See, do you want to buy a house, honey? Like they're having big sales and the mortgage and this and the economy is like perfect time and whatever. How do you feel about getting a place up here on the hill? Not what do you think, which puts the burden on you as a woman. This is why you're so tired. Do you feel like putting on makeup when you're tired? No, you certainly don't want to put it to him because he's causing you unnecessary burden and tiredness and depleted and depression, not due to a fault, but due to your interaction of your energies. So I urge you, try just this little thing. You know, I had a client, sex just didn't, like they've been together, you're talking 30, 40 years, okay? And I had her only one session. I told her to change one little thing. She was beside herself because she said, Nicole, at night, he came and he spooned me. I didn't have to go to him. I didn't want to breathe. I didn't want to blink. I didn't want to move. It was like heaven. Of course it's going to be heaven because she switched energetically. Now, I had to slap my bitch a bit more in the next session because as I kept telling her more and more things to do and she started doing it, he was complying. So in other words, he was responding as a man would when you're being a woman. So, but in her head, she's still in masculine energy, so she's still operating as she'd get some being lucky. So of course, I had to strike her hard when she said the following, I got 2 dates out of him. I'm like, really? Did you like sprout a cock out of your forehead that you got 2 dates out of him? What you mean is you gave him 2 dates. He inspired in you 2 dates. He was fortunate to get 2 dates from you. So you see, this will be a start. It won't be the end all because if you've been operating as a masculine energy and in overdrive as a woman, you can take these 2 things to start the ball rolling. But believe me, reading tips and tricks and like things to do that is feminine energy is not being feminine energy where everything just fucking flows. Because you're going to do the right thing that you're reading or memorizing or what I'm telling you, but then you're going to fuck it up like my client did. So if you want to rewire yourself in the right way, hook up with me, give yourself a gift, change your whole fucking marriage. This is not a 2-year thing in counsel therapy crap. And how many of you have done that? Why are you still suffering, man? That's because when you hear what is your DNA imprint of truth and it's exact, the energies unlock, the wiring straightens up. It's not a 2-year, 5-year, 10-year therapy thing. It's not a 2-year journey with your inner child of trauma. I had a recent client like that. She had so much suppressed crying when I was with her, because most of my masculine energy women, they know I'm a much tougher masculine energy woman. That's because my feminine energy is through the fucking roof. I'm balanced. So they feel safe that they can drop their sword. She had so much suppressed crying. All masculine energy women do. You don't cry of your pain. You are touched into tears. You see beauty or someone wants to help you or someone wants to give to you. And that's when you cry. You cry because you don't feel you deserve that to be given. It's really sad. And so when she told me all the things she did on her inner journey and all that inner trauma and stuff for the last 2 years, I said, really? Why are you so in pain right now with me? Because when you do something right for you, it's like a click. It's like when you meet the right person. It's the easiest connection. There's no trauma, triggers. There's no fears. It's just fucking solid. It's just easy. And so if you want easy, book a one-on-one with me. I'm actually booking 3 weeks in advance now. I'm getting very busy, but go to my site, NicoleColeman with the K.com. Give yourself a gift. I guarantee it will be bang on. And I guarantee within 2-3 days, things will shift. Because the energies that are holding guilt, shame, fear, and blame in place is going to open. And as those energies start to fly out, you have more room for light. Because right now, your light that you were born in, there's all this pain in the middle of it. It acts like a huge fat ass barrier, and then there's you. So you're not attached to your light. You don't operate from light, from being anchored in your energies. You operate on the other side of pain. So you think love is blind, but love isn't blind. Pain is, because you're not attached to your light, though it's there, waiting for you.